How you doing this morning? Running a bit late. Actually, I've just been running around doing a couple of bits. Wife's at work, so I tend to fill the dishwasher, have a little bit of a tidy, empty the bins, blah blah blah. So I'm running a few minutes behind, but I did pop on and have a look at the screen. And so, right, who we got in this morning? Accountability King. Good morning. Dream Traits. Good morning. Ranwolf. Good morning. Jacko. Afternoon, my friend. What? How you doing, buddy? Nicholas. Hi all. Keith. Morning, Keith. Jamie. Morning, Jamie. Leading loser. What's that one? God, that's going to be a tough one to pronounce. Loich. Is that right, V? Is that right? That name, that's a new one, I think. Where are you from? Where's that name? Have I pronounced it right? Loic? Loic? Is that right? It's probably a million miles away, isn't it? But, yeah, let me know if I've got it right, Loic, or where you're from. I'd like to know where people are from. Scruffy. Afternoon, Scruffy. Stapler Lucas. Please get link on Apex. Please get link on Apex. You asking me for the link, or you just letting people know it's there? Please get a link on there. I have got a link up there if that's what you want. Morning, Kim. Afternoon, Dave. How you doing, Dave? Marcellino. Rolls off the tongue, that one. Probably not. Rolls off my tongue, ideally. So, okay. So, 18th of January. And we've had some news this morning. I did have a bit of a look. Didn't really do anything. So, morning, Toad. How you doing? Graham Worcester. Afternoon, Graham. Graham Worcester. It doesn't get any more British name than that. So, where are you from, Graham? Are you from the UK? Graham Worcester. Hard to say. Because if you're from America, I know how hard it is to say Worcester. Yeah, your last try was good. Oh, you're from France. Excellent. Loic. From France. From Lyon. Ah, Lyon. Okay. I once got a taxi from Lyon to Paris when I was about 21. I'd been up to Val d'Isère. We came down to, I think it was Chambéry, and all the trains were out. So we managed to get somewhere from Chambéry to Lyon, and we got a taxi. There was a bunch of us. Got a taxi from Lyon to Paris. Really bad snow, so that brings back some old memories. So you're welcome, very welcome. I'll try and speak as slowly and as clearly as I can. Probably, mind you, a lot of you French guys probably speak better English than we do. The ES Futures Trader. Good morning, my friend Bill. How you doing, Bill? Sharon. Hi, Sharon. So hi, everybody. Now, while I've got some of you here, I will just mention a trader pal of mine who comes on this stream had a message from me. Well, not from me, but somebody sort of pretending to be me, I think you could say. It came up with a UK futures trader. It called him by name. I won't mention it, but it messaged on one of his videos by name, asking for his Telegram details. So just be aware. If anybody pretends to be me, I never thought I'd get that famous, and I'd be saying, I don't know why they're bothering me. I'm small fry. I've got people have got hundreds of thousands and millions of subscribers, so I don't know why they're picking on me. But yeah, if anybody does message you guys pretending to be me, asking for anything, I don't know, whatever it is, any details, anything like that, don't give anything away. It's not me. Unless you're offering any money. But no, yeah. If anybody contacts you, says they're me or my details or anything like that, just ignore it. I don't know how these guys make money personally, but they obviously do. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. So just keep that in mind. I will never ask you for anything unless I'm desperate, of course. But yeah, I won't ask you for any details. I'll come straight out with it and ask you for money. But just keep that in mind. You thought it was you. Oh, you didn't have one as well, did you? You had a full conversation with me. Oh, seriously? See, I might have had. I'm sure I've had a conversation with you on. Just be aware, Well, I think having a conversation with someone isn't a major issue. It's when they ask you for any details. So let me just check on my... I'm sure we've had a chat anyway, haven't we? Let me just have a look. What time are we now? Okay, market is open anyway. It's a bit quiet again, but let me just have a quick... What's going on here? No, I think we've just chatted extensively on here, haven't we, But I think. But yeah. So just be aware if anybody does message you. Excuse me a second. I've had a few messages from you guys, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. If I can help anybody, I've had plenty of help. So by all means, if anybody messages me, that's fine. But I generally won't message any of you guys unless it's someone I speak to regularly. But whatever happens, don't give away any details. So just bear that in mind. I don't know why these people do it, to be honest with you, but just bear it in mind. I won't ask you for anything. Okay. So, it said I bring you a bottle of fine liqueur. They definitely ain't me then. I don't give away that stuff. Great visit in the UK. So, yeah, you might. So what you're basically saying is you might knock on my front door with a big suitcase at some point in the future. Yeah, but just be aware if they're asking for anything, it ain't me. I only ask for hard cash or credit card details, so no, don't give anything away. You know the drill. We've all been through it before. We've all seen it on these channels, haven't we? I just thought it was for the big fish with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and up, so I don't know why they're tackling me. So, red goals, you're famous. Seems that way, doesn't it? It's probably just some guy's bored, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I've watched other people's streams, and sometimes in the chat, you'll hear people saying about WhatsApp and details and all that. But you've all been through it before, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, you all know the score. So just don't give anything away, unless you know it's me. Then obviously you can give stuff to me. Then that's fine. That's fine. So I have had some an affiliate. Some of you guys using the affiliate link of mine. So I did get an email this morning. So if anybody has, it's much appreciated. I only put it up there because, as I've said before, it doesn't cost you guys anything extra. But to be honest with you, I bought a graphics card so I can and do this stream. So that is paying for that nicely. So it's all good. But it's there if you want it anyway. And I think it's on for another, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, something like that. But okay, so let's have a look at this market. So we've got some form of what would you call that? A trend of such, more like a bullish imbalance, isn't it? We seem to be getting these short-term trends, and they're breaking a new high. Short-term trend break new high. Short-term trend break new high, and so on. And we've stumbled along here just before the market opens. But we have, if we've come from this top, a lot of the time we've come and we've stumbled along this midline here and pushed back down. But I suppose you could call that a trend. Would you guys call that a trend, I suppose? Hey, Thomas, how you doing? I'm new to the stream. Well, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Where you from, buddy? Just like to know where people are from, just out of curiosity. Okay, so yeah, we seem to be coming back to this line down here and bouncing off. It was almost like a bit of a spike and then a channel, a messy channel. But we seem to be working off this bottom line here. So I don't know how confident I am trading it as a channel yet, but we'll have to see what happens when it comes down here. See if we can push above and move on. Good, thanks. I used your code this morning. Oh, thank you very much. It's much appreciated, Thomas. Orlando, Florida. Excellent. So I'm assuming you're a lot warmer than 3 degrees, are you? That's what we are now. So excellent. Orlando, Florida. Sounds very luxury. Florida. Yeah, I've never been to the US yet. It's on my list of to-dos. So I will get there at some point. I quite fancy New York at Christmas time. Hey, buddy, how you doing, mate? Just transferred you $22,000 for that crypto offered you on the Telegram. Thank you, mate. I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out. Eyesight 22. Is it 23? Sure, wasn't it? That'll do. I'll take 22. I'm not arguing. Okay, there is a second entry long there, but it is quite a bit under the EMA, but it is off this bottom. So, but things are sort of working down a little bit, some a little bit. And in a lot of cases, it does seem to be bouncing back off this center line. So I'm not confident how I am going into that. So we'll see. Could be a range. It's looking funky. The trend is flat. What's that trend? Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going sideways. I mean, I've put this in because it touched here and it held here nice, and it held again when it came away from it. So that's as good as anything at the moment to work from. But obviously, this seems to be tipping a bit. So if we break that and do something else, then I might get rid of it. But for now, there's a Fed guy speaking right now. Okay, is that to do with this? Is it? Right, that would make sense why it's a bit chippy choppy. Let's see. I could do with $22,000 of crypto right about now, especially with it going up at the moment. I had a couple of grand's worth of crypto that have been completely battered. It's probably going to take me about 2 years to get it back, I think, but I don't mind. It's sat there. I'm ignoring it for the most. Hopefully one day when I decide to have a look at it, it'll have shot up. See, it is holding at the moment. That's not to say it's going to, but it's definitely stumbling here. So I would say sellers are less inclined to get into the market here, which is probably why it's stalling. So if it does push off, then that may get some buyers interested. But until we can push him, I'm just unsure at the moment the way that's looking, and with it seem to be stumbling across this midline. So see what that. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. 70 degrees, Thomas. 70 degrees. So what is that in centigrade? We use C over here. We all have to be awkward, don't we? I don't know what that is. 70. I'm guessing it's relatively warm, isn't it? I don't think Florida gets cold, does it? At the southeast coast, is it right down the... Oh, yeah, of course it is, yeah. I've been to Cuba. I spent a few weeks in Cuba, which is about as close to Florida. I think the Florida Keys are about the closest part to Cuba, I think, aren't they? Let me just pop this here a minute, see if we can pick anything off there. Yeah, it's definitely sort of working up, isn't it? Just going to get rid of that for the moment. Fed guy speaking. Is that to do with this this stuff, is it, Brant, do you know? Wake up mags, I like that. That's 21 degrees in Roman Catholic. 21, yes, that's quite a nice warm day, isn't it, actually? Mind you, we did have 41 point something degrees in the UK last year, which is a record for us. Beat our previous 38, so that was an absolute score. I think that's a warm day anywhere in the world, but for us it's particularly warm. But 21 degrees, that's like a nice warm spring morning in the UK, that is. Or yeah, I suppose we tend to average around about the 21 to about mid-20s on an average summer, I suppose. Some days it gets a bit warmer. Yeah, certainly that EMA is taking a bit of a dip, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it may just be as I'm looking at it, it may not really be nothing. It seems to be a bit of a trend working its way down to here, but it is pushing off. But I don't know, I'm just unsure about taking a trade here because it hasn't been going very far in a lot of cases. So it's just going to be a bit of sitting and waiting. Just says Fed bull last speech on my calendar. Yeah, I've got you. Typically, doesn't do much, but last month he spoke, it went crazy. Yeah, okay. So we just have to keep an eye on that. That might be why it's a little bit doing not a lot, and it's working within quite a tight range. Oh, I don't know. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's working within about 20 points, so that's not too bad. ATR is quite high, so a trade, an average trade with a tick above, tick below before point. So it might be sitting and watching time for a while until he finishes. I'm assuming the institutional guys will probably have their eye on the news, which is probably why it hasn't really done much today, bar a little bit of up and down. Failed second entry short took place. Big candle was too big under the EMA. You're talking there, are you? That's a failure here, actually. The trouble is, it ain't going up very far, is it? So it's just making me a bit nervous. We have had this little bit of a trend down here, see? So this could be a bit of a break back down to here. It's hard to say. It might go up, but that midline is it's slow in prices, isn't it? Obviously, we've gone right to the top on a couple of occasions, but it didn't go much further than that midline, so that's making me a little bit nervous, although you're probably going to get something out of it. See if that does come back to here. I have put that in there because it does look like a bit of a channel, although might not necessarily play a part so much here because it's so choppy. So, snow and ice we got. Yeah, we had a layer of snow here this morning. Maybe an inch and a bit, I suppose. So, probably not getting as much as you up north there, bud. Up in Aberdeen. I know I was speaking to Keith yesterday. He said, been up to the Cairngorms or something? Did he say been up to the Cairngorms, I think? Yeah, price is definitely holding on this line. There's no two ways about it. We've done it once, right along there. We've done it twice, and we've certainly done it 3 times. And it hasn't hung around there. It's bounced quite a few times. So price is definitely been held by that. 1 leg up, 2 legs up. Okay, so there's 2 legs up. So the way that's going at the moment, I wouldn't expect it to get much further. That's sort of a measured leg down. I'd probably say it may even work down here. Although it has got up onto twice, but it doesn't look like at the moment. It's just struggling at this midline. And there is a hidden second entry short there. But things are moving up at the moment, although it probably is going to come down a bit because price, this midline is rejecting prices, so you'd have definitely got a few points out of that. So that actually wouldn't have been a terrible trade. It was a measured leg to the nearest tick, and it pushed down right back to here. So anybody get on that, did they? Trying to sell my flat in Aberdeen. Yeah, and I'm renting. Do I want it? Aberdeen's too cold for me, mate. But having said that, see, that's one of the most attractive things I like about trading is you can trade from anywhere in the world, can't you? As long as you've got a computer and a reliable internet connection, sky's the limit. You took that one, did you? Yeah. Obviously, we're moving up. It's a little bit risky, but price, that midline is rejecting price, and we had 2 measured legs up. So I thought the chance of us coming back was, maybe... well, certainly more than none anyway, and it obviously came back, didn't it? So there's another one there. See if we can get a lower high. Let me just extend this because there's more points than I thought actually here. You'd have got probably 10 points out of that. Let's have a look. It came down. Oh, mate, you certainly got 8.5 points out of that. See if we can come back here a bit. Price is holding that quite nice now. It's giving me a little bit more confidence in it. But I don't like that. Let's see if we can get something bullish off here. That's a second entry long. It's going to have to be a good one though, because I thought that might happen. Oh, right. There's some news there. I don't quite like what's going on there. See if we can get a failure. Yeah, it's bouncing around a bit, that, isn't it? I don't like the way it's coming down here. See what happens. See if we can get a failure here. See if this pushes up strongly. Got a big bar there. That's the downside. No, I don't like that. Yeah, it is certainly a little bit choppy now, isn't it? I don't like the way it's pushed up, 2 legs up to come back on higher, come back on higher. Is that indicating maybe we're coming down a bit? It's hard to say. It's getting a bit choppy, isn't it? In fact, this whole section here is getting a bit choppy. Yeah, that seems to be. It is sideways, but it's got a bit of still got a bit of an upward bias to it, isn't it? See, that is a failure, isn't it? But I just don't like the way it's. Yeah, I think the safest thing to do would be to just sit and watch. Let's get rid of that a minute. Yes. Also going to sell my flat if I can. You're moving it together, you two guys, are you? Eh? Oh, you know. I know at least one of you are married, just said. Yeah, price is stumbling. But it is still holding here, isn't it? Let's see what happens here. Let me have a drink of my tea. I wouldn't be shocked if prices did break out down here. Okay, there's a new low. See what this does, see if this pushes up here. It's just risky at the moment because it is very choppy. You were flat, mates. I got you. In the oil and gas boom. I'm surprised we still have gas, to be fair. I'm surprised we still have gas in houses, considering how sort of volatile the stuff is. Yeah, it's quite choppy, isn't it? See if we get up to this top bit. See, after seeing that, if we get like 2 legs up to here with another bearish, I don't know. I'll have to see where it is because we've yeah. Okay, so we've had a new low here. I was going to say see if this breaks below here, but I don't know if I fancy getting into something just yet. Okay, that's sort of one leg, a little bit of sideways, another leg. See if it comes up here. Okay, right to the top quite strongly. See what happens here. Is this going to sucker anyone in? It's tempting, isn't it, considering what it did there? One leg up, bit sideways, another leg up. Let's get one ready. See if we get a lower high. Not only am I thinking this range at the moment, but price is being held by that center line, isn't it? So see if there's anything going to be trapped here. I'll see if it does come down. Okay, it does look like it's coming down now, doesn't it? Anybody else find this when you have a trend like this and then you put a bit of sideways? That looks like the range looks like it's leaning to the right to me. Just the plain tricks on my eyes here, isn't it? This range does look like it's dipping. See if we can get a lower high. I'd say there's a good chance that's coming down now. Maybe to here, one leg down. See if we can get a lower high. I don't mind trying to get a few points down here. Can't find the minimum needed to maintain 50,000 account after withdrawal. I think it's, yeah, correct. That's where your trailing drawdown stops, $50,100. If you're over $2,600, you can technically withdraw 2,000, but obviously it only leaves you a little bit left. But so yeah, there needs to be a minimum of 50,100. Yeah, if you drop below that, it's good night. Yeah, I don't know. Comfortable out short in from here to here. Probably going to come down. There's one leg. Looks like it's going to make another leg, but I'd be jumping into trade based on an educated guess, not a solid offering, if you like. One leg down. It's probably going to come here. I'd say 60, 70% chance it's going to come here, but trouble is there's probably only about 3 points there. If I'm going to take something that risky, I want more than 3 points. I want at least 1-to-1. It's a riskier trade. It's probably going to do something like that. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it, where it's falling? I'd say there's a fair chance. If I was at a demo, I'd take that in a heartbeat. Okay, one leg down. Yeah, it looks like it's going to do it, doesn't it? But you never know. It might come down to here and bounce and push up. You just don't know. That's the trouble. Okay, that's what we thought it was going to do. So yeah, you can. A lot of the time, these are quite predictable. Just based on what it's been doing, it's using the top of this range line and the bottom of this trend channel. And I think if you look at charting patterns, I think that usually means if it's price is holding but the bottom's going up, it's usually going to come to the upside. I did a little bit more studying on charts and patterns when I was doing currency. We don't tend to do that here much because obviously the price action's so quick and moving it. We tend to just read it out as is. It hasn't even broke above there to come down. I don't know if I fancy just going for a couple of points there. Even if you get a little bit more, it's too risky for a couple of points. So I'd say it's probably going to come down to around about here. Once we get over that. Once we get over that 53.1. Yeah, it's going to have to get above here, really, isn't it? What's that? Pay the 150 if we choose to pay the monthly fee option rather than predict. Yeah, you got the choice now. You can pay the 140 or the 85. I'd say if like this, if you've got a PA account that you've earned some money on you and you're dragging a few more along, like I am here, I'd say then it's probably beneficial to pay the 140. But it depends. If you're still in the middle of blowing accounts regularly and you haven't managed to get one out, I'd probably more inclined to take the 85. Not meaning to come over negative. I'm just thinking from a financial point of view. I think if you're still blowing and you're still going through that section of your trading, then I'd be inclined to just do the 85. When I took this PA account out here, it was about 4 days before they brought that option to pay the 140. So I've paid 2 monthlies on that now. So obviously it's costing money that now monthly, but it's still worth it. Okay, so there is sort of a couple of legs down. It didn't come down as low as I thought. So if anybody did decide to short that, not that I think you would you? Maybe. You'd have got trapped there. Let's see what happens here. Now it's come away from this line. See if it goes a bit higher. That's one push up that to me. Yeah, there's a clear bullish imbalance, yeah, for sure. The way it's still going up. This may trap a few shorts if this triggers. This might be where it goes above. Okay, so if anybody's short that, that's just triggered. I wouldn't be shocked now if that goes higher than that, just a touch, and stops any of those out. I'm still thinking 2 legs up. Yeah, that's 1 leg up to me, which is why I'm thinking it may go a bit higher because it hasn't come back to the bottom of that trend channel there, and that's relatively bearish. So there may, every time it's come up here, it's come back down. There may be a few shorts there, and it looks to me like if it traps them, it might have another leg. There we go. So there's going to be some shorts there thinking, oh, look, it's doing that. Every time it comes up, we'll short that. And there's clearly some shorts there by the time it bounced, I'd say. And now that's 2 legs up to me. Now, would I want to go short there? Probably not. That's come back up to that midline. So that was... see, it's just nice to predict these things, isn't it? I thought that might happen, and it did. So it just shows you, doesn't it? The more you do this, the more you get in tune with what things are doing. I wonder if it's going to bounce off here. See that? There's a second entry short, isn't it? It's not a very good signal bar, though, is it? And the way that's sort of still moving up, I think I'll be uncomfortable about shorting up here. Now, that's a failure there, so I bet there's going to be some longs thinking, oh, if this triggers, we may have another push up. The longs are going to be thinking, I'd say, they're going to be thinking, there's first leg up, coming back, second leg up. And this may take them up towards that top of that trend channel at the moment. Back from vacation, yeah, they've all come back at once. But it can be predictable. That's relatively bearish, and every time it's come up here, it's come back, isn't it? So as soon as that triggered, that trapped some shorts, and as soon as it took above there, there's probably going to be maybe a few in here as well. That's why it had that quick little push eating through them stops. Yeah, this looks to me, a lot of times you see that pattern, a push up, a little bit of sideways, followed by another push up. Might come down to the EMA first and then push higher. Yeah, it might have spiked a bit, but it's funny how as soon as it ticked above there, it went. So I'd say that had something to do with it. Especially where it pushed up quickly and then went sideways. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's pushed out, a little bit of sideways. I'd say if I was a betting man, it's going to push out the top here. Often does that, doesn't it? Quick sharp push up, a little bit of sideways because it can't sustain that. A little bit of sideways, maybe drop back out at the bottom if that breaks out. In fact, if that does break out the bottom, I'll take that as a failure. As a have a look. If it does come down to here and bullish, then I'll go long there. Let me get one ready. I need to go a bit longer. I want it to break out the bottom of this range. Most breakouts fail, see. I am expecting a second leg up. Most breakouts fail. So if we can get something to come down here and finish here, excuse me, I'll go long there. Need that to break below here. Break below here. If it does break below here and ends up bullish, it could have a nice push up then. Okay, that's all right. If we can get another drop down here, below this, preferably down to about here, and then followed by a nice bullish candle, I'd take that. There's a breakout pullback. And to be honest with you, there's a new high. First entry. You can take this as a second entry long. I just don't like the way it's not. I want it to come down here, and that's still fine as long as it comes down here. It's holding prices, isn't it? I just prefer it to have a little bit of a push first. I'd say it's almost. I'm confident we're going to push up here now. It's just no real entry. I don't know. You may have took that one, but I was the fact that it is holding prices nicely and looking bullish, and it's pushing back in there, but it's just not. I prefer it to break down. Then I think it would probably push up a little bit quicker then. Just from what I'm seeing. See if we can get a higher low here. Yesterday's highs are here. If we can pull back down here, don't think it's going to give us a chance. I think it'll go up quite quickly if it does. I think there's probably going to be some shorts there, maybe. So if we can get above there, we may have a quite pop. That's where their stops are going to be, above that. Yeah, that I don't think was bullish enough to encourage a lot more buyers, which is why I think it's still going a bit sideways. I think to push it above that midline, it's going to have to drop here and end up having a nice bullish candle, and I think then that'll encourage more buyers. And then if it does break, I think that then would push it out. But the fact that they're a little bit iffy, aren't they? I mean, that's certainly bullish, and it's you know, the EMA is still pointing up and it's been held by the EMA, but I think you need something a little bit more inviting than that, really. You took 2 points, did you? Good on you, mate. If we can get above here, then I think we'll have a push up then, because there's possibly going to be some shorts trap there, but it's just not encouraging enough for me to want to get involved in that just yet. Okay, if we can get above here, I think then it will continue up. Okay. Yeah, there have been a few shorts there, not a huge amount. We had a bit of a pop. Also, that is a hidden second entry short if it fails. If it ends up bearish, push up. See if people are going to trade that back into the range. They may do. See if it ends up bearish. See if that'll attract anybody to come back into that range. It's definitely attracting somebody. Hidden second entry short, that is. I wouldn't really be going short there, but someone is. Just get rid of this a minute. That's interesting. I like that. Call that high or low. That's not looking so good, is it? I just like that setup. I jumped the gun there. I'm just going to take it to 1 tick below here. See if it pulls me out. See if it pushes up now. It's not going to, is it? I don't think it's going to take me out. No, okay. No, I should have left that one. I thought that might be the catalyst to push up higher. Oh well. Okay. Oh well. See if it comes back here. No, I should have left that one really. All that was a higher low. It just looked really bullish. I was expecting it struggle there, see, because there was nothing positive here, and I thought after that might push high. I thought it was worth the risk, but obviously not. Oh well. At least we've had 2 legs back. See if we can get a higher low. Don't let it get. It's all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm getting used to those losses. It is still a bit sideways here. I thought that might have been okay, actually. It's come to here, 2 pushes up, back to the EMA. I should have waited for another leg, really. Well, okay, so that's a failure there. So that breaks below there and pushes higher. That's probably going to trap some shorts, maybe. That's triggered there. Okay, break. See what happens when it comes back down here. Break, new low. There's probably going to be some shorts in there, I'd say. That's a failure, isn't it? What would they have out of that? Not much. You just get an order ready. I'm just thinking if it pushes above there. It will give us a lower high, a higher low rather. Yeah, there's some shorts trapped there. I was tempted to go there, but it's a little bit sideways. Let's see if there's a higher low. If it triggers below there, it hasn't triggered yet, but okay, that's triggered. There's probably going to be some shorts in there. See if this finishes bullish. I'd say there's probably going to be quite a few shorts here. Give me some there, possibly some there. See if we can get something off this bottom line somewhere. Let's have a look. Okay. That's sort of 2 legs down, isn't it? Okay, that's 2 legs down. That's the first time that line's broken. And after that quick push down, I might be interested in riding it back in, especially off that centre line. That's not having none of it though, is it? Okay, so it's popped out this range, isn't it? And it's coming to the bottom of it. Let's see what happens down here. After that strong push down, I'd expect it to come back to a degree. Possible second entry short here. I don't know how I feel about going short after that lot. In fact, I'm going to say that's a possible failure. There's going to be some shorts in there, but that does look like it's pushing down, doesn't it? That's a failure. I'm going to take that on the engulfing because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some shorts trapped there. That's a failure. Although it hasn't triggered yet, I just took it off the engulfing. See if it pushes higher. It is a big bar, yeah. But that's the first time we've broken out of this trend. Oh dear. This could be me done for the day. I took on the engulfing because I thought that was a second entry short, and after this people might be thinking there's another leg down. I think those two are the same height actually, so you could recount that one. So maybe this might be a higher low. That's all we've got at the moment, I think. See if it pushes above this. There may be some more shorts there. It's hard to say. See what happens. I need a bit of luck now, I think. Needs to push above here. This is where I need a little bit of luck. Take my risk to there, I think, now. Okay, that's push. Needs to break above here, I think. If it does, we get a push above here. We may trap some shorts. We may get an half decent push, especially that's the first time we've broken out of that. Let's see what happens. It's a 4.5 point risk. That's a big risk, that. think if we can get above here, I'm going to try and get out of this trade as quick as I can, I think. Okay. Let's see if that pushes up a bit now. Okay. Sensible thing to do. I think it's hard to say, and then at the day I'll get out of it with a tick or a couple of ticks. Just, I don't like what's going on there. Okay. Lesson learned. Definitely doing some cyber stuff. I think getting out there was a sensible thing to do. Yeah, I'll be crapping myself about now. Yeah, okay. Lesson learned. What, did I get a tick or something? Yeah, a tick. Okay, let's leave alone. Leave it alone. It was the best move. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't like getting stuff like that. And I was down here, wasn't I? I was about there. So yeah. Yeah, it is a bit. Oh, you've blown an eval, have you? I've been there, done that. Yeah, I'd have been out of the game now. So coming out there was the sensible thing to do. It is looking like now we could. I'm going to get rid of this now. At least we didn't do any more damage. That's the main thing. Probably keep that about there, I think. Okay, so at least the damage, we didn't do any more damage. Lesson learned. Got room to swing to get out, yeah. I shorted the third test from the top. It's just risky, isn't it, really? I thought it might. I was expecting to get a decent push up towards this yesterday's high, and I thought that might be a place to do it, but obviously not. Okay, it's very choppy, that is. That's some of the messiest stuff I've seen for a while, actually. Probably, certainly for a while. It's definitely choppy, isn't it? So, okay, so we're only down one anyway. That's the main thing. We can soon pull that back, but it's going to be finding something decent. So I'm just going to sit through this. In fact, I'm going to take a quick break and go and make a cup of tea. And I'll just give me about 5 minutes. I'll be back. Definitely choppy, isn't it? Very choppy. Say Pips Trading. Yeah, someone else did that to someone else. So it seemed to be someone off the stream here. So just don't give anything away. Yeah, it wasn't me. It was just someone else. Someone else bored. Nothing to do. Well, I'm just wondering whether the news has brought anything else, but it's strongly pushing down. Let's get rid of that a minute. It's confusing me. Okay. Yeah, certainly a lot more volume going in now, that's for certain. There is some resistance around here, although I'm a bit unsure about going along at the moment, considering we've had that quite strong push down. Is it measured legs? I've got to wait for something really obvious, I think. Yeah. We've had plenty of choppy days lately, aren't we? That's for certain. Yeah, if anybody else has any messages pretending to be me, I don't know why they do it. Saying about Telegram, just ignore it. It's not me. I won't ask you for anything. So just ignore it. I don't know what it is. Some sort of saddos out there with nothing better to do. Let's just remove that a minute. See what happens here. See if it holds here, then I might move it up a bit. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what they get out of it, to be honest with you, I don't. Really going down now, isn't it? Strongly. See what happens here. Yeah, it looks like it, isn't it? It's certainly, yeah, now I brought that down to there. See if it comes down to here, or see if it... Would you ride that back in? Risky, isn't it? See whether it comes down to this bottom. I think it's risky riding it back in. That's where it's... That was where our overnight lows... If it's in this channel here, then you could say that's a breakout, but at the moment with that pushing down, it's just risky, isn't it? Tesla chart is a waterfall. Tesla not doing so well now. See if we can get a break up to here. Problem is, we've had this clear trend, and that's obvious, isn't it? We've had a break of the trend, then you'd normally expect a new extreme, wouldn't you? But as we've broken this this trend channel, based on what we've got so far, so would you want to really short that? There's a first entry anyway, see if it goes up any higher. Might not even get to it, considering how strong that is. It may try and come down to the lows, mightn't it? See if we can get a good second entry short there. Doesn't seem like it's going to give us the opportunity, does it? Certainly a lot more volume now. No argument there. I think fading this out, it's hard to say, isn't it? You'd have got something out of it, but I wouldn't have felt comfortable considering how strong that's coming down. We get a couple of legs. Yeah, definitely people are unsure. Okay, that looks like it might be another leg down. It's hard to say, isn't it? We pulling back into the range, or we haven't made a new low. I'd expect to make a new low after this, but you just don't know, do you? Does the range take precedence? Does look like it may be on. Here we go. Second leg down. See if it comes down to here now. Okay, there's our new low. Probably going to be some shorts, some longs trap there, I'd say, if this comes down. Might have that, might give it the catalyst to push down some more. Okay. Yeah. No one's sure, are they? Yeah. Possible, isn't it? A bit of an overshoot. I'll leave it there for the time being, see what happens. Yeah, we have a break at an extreme. The trouble is, are we going back up into this? Are we calling this a range, or is this likely going to try and come down and touch the lows of the day? So it looks like it's trying to. So there's possibly going to be some longs there, maybe, that are stuck there thinking. See if it has a push down there. Yeah, cheers, Thomas. Have a good afternoon, mate. A seam, yeah. You do, it is a tough day. Sam, you're not wrong. Yeah, you do an evaluation, a seam. And I know on a $50,000 account, you've got to hit $3,000. And when that happens, then you get offered a PA account. And that's where you can make some money. Then you start to build up some money. Okay, we're coming down to the overnight lows. Let's see if we go through it. Oh, you took about 800 loss on your new one today. Not even going to trade my PA. Yeah, don't blame you, mate. This lot, some of the worst I've seen for a while, actually. At least we're getting a bit of something now, aren't we? In the direction of such. But this lot, yeah, all that lot there. This lot, that lot. It's all over the place, isn't it? I've got to learn to stay out of it. Okay, at least the damage is minimal. I decided to stay out of it after that, but yeah. I managed to get out of my second trade with a tick. So that was good. Okay, we've come down and we haven't quite... We've bounced off there, haven't we? But at the moment, we seem to be in this downtrend, really. So I'm a little bit of... I'm not that confident. In fact, really, if you think about it, it's only really touched here, hasn't it? So we could probably bring that down to there. I'll take that to about there. That actually doesn't look that bad. I'd rather break out here first and then start pushing in that direction before I think about getting involved in that. See what happens here. Took a short at 408.8, did you? 408.8. Oh, I see. You're right about, yeah. You went short here, did you? Okay. In fact, that wouldn't have been a bad place to go long, actually. It was 1.25, that is. And it was one tick from the overnight highs. So that wouldn't have been a bad risk, actually, to try and run that back. You'd have got 5 points there. Oh, it took 5 points off there. Good on you. Yeah, look at that. In hindsight, it was 1.25. So if you ever tick below it, tick above it. What's that, 1.25? One? Yeah, it's 1.75. Looks good for short. See, this is a break. We've already had a break from this channel, but the channel did extend, didn't it? But at the moment, we've only really had one push up. That channel looks okay to me. Let me just get rid of the smaller one. Okay, that looks pretty good, actually. So we've had a break, but are we going to beat this bottom? It's hard to say, isn't it? That's a first entry. See if we can get something bullish, but ooh, I don't know. Let's get an order ready. That is a breakout, that channel. It's a second entry short. We're going to come down and retest before we push up again, are we? It's hard to say. I think I'd rather go for a lower high before I think about going short just there. We could push up and then have another. We could get back into this range. It's hard to say. See if this comes bearish. Doesn't look like it's going to, does it? Okay, forget that idea. Seems struggling to get higher. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. They could go either way. They're going to come down and retest this. Certainly not a real setup there, or are we going to, you know, mess around at the line and then push back into this range? Okay, so that's a possible failed second entry short. Thing is, do I really want to be going long right there with that lot? Yeah, there is some resistance around here, and it seems to be struggling to get through it. May get a bit of sideways. Yeah, it's just too risky at the moment, isn't it? It could come down and retest this, or possibly break low. We haven't hit. We haven't broken the overnight lows yet. We're about a tick off or so. So we could come down and do that. Or we could push strongly back into it. It's just hard to say at the moment, isn't it? I mean, we've had a new high. This could be a lower high. It's just risky, though, going short, isn't it? It's probably likely. Oh. I kind of think I want to come back down here, but let's have a look. That's a lower high, that is. See how it finishes. I think we've got a new high trying to go on, so I think I'd rather wait for the failure than go lower there. It's just a bit risky, that is. It does look like it's trying to get lower, but I'd rather give it a chance to get a failure. Yeah, it does look like it's coming down to retest this. It may just tank out the bottom. There's certainly a lot of selling pressure there for sure. Let's just get that out of the way a minute. Okay. I kind of wanted to take that, but I didn't. Although it would have done quite well. It's just we've had a new high, and then we had a lower high nicely below the EMA. But what did it get? We'd have got 6.5 points out of it. Risky though, because at the moment we really are in range. Although it does look like we're coming down some more, doesn't it? We had this sort of upward bias, didn't we? It hit a few times up here, and then down it came. So it's certainly coming down at the moment, I think. Took the lower high. Yeah, it was tempting. Trouble is, because of all this thing, I just think, ooh, it's hard to say. But you could do really well out of that. It just didn't quite finish on its low, and it's a little bit sideways. I thought it might tick below and come back into the range. And I thought I might get a bit stuck. If I wouldn't have been down, I may have taken that one. The high was a fail second or two. Long, the high confirmed it, yeah. And you got some good points out of that. Lovely. So, what are we doing here? We're coming back in the range, or are we going to push back up here and come down some more? Certainly looking bearish, isn't it? I look on the daily. We've had this strong push up over the last few days, and it's started to slacken off there, and it's looking bearish, isn't it? It's looking like it might be time to, yeah. I think if it does come back to here, I might look to go short. If it does come back, it may not even come back. If we can get back up here, I'd probably be interested in going short there. We've made a push down there. We can get back to here. I'd expect something else. And also a retest the bottom of this range if it gets up to there. Okay, that's broken below. I kind of like that. So there's a first entry. If we can get above here, we might not even get up. If we can get above here and find something bearish. No, it doesn't even look like it's going to try, does it? God, it's gone slow, isn't it? You push up here somewhere. If we can get up here, I'll fade the breakout. And if we can get something short, I'm expecting it to come down. We've had a new low here, so technically that's a first entry. You can count it or reset it, whatever you want to do. It might not even give us it. It might just work down. It certainly looks like it's trying to work lower, doesn't it? We certainly seem to be having a bit of a downtrend. You're predicting this is the bottom. I don't know. I think we're going lower, I do. I'm certainly getting that impression we're going lower. I was hoping we could get back up here first, quite nicely to it. We've had this leg down, see, haven't we? I'm thinking there's going to be another one. The daily's looking incredibly bearish, isn't it? We went up here quite strongly. It's been feathering off, isn't it? Losing momentum, and it seems to be curling, so I wouldn't be surprised if the next few days we'd make some good downwards. I wouldn't be shocked about it. This is as good a place as any to start, isn't it? Bottom of the range here, I'm thinking. The channel, rather. There's just nothing there, no real setups, is there? Didn't get tightly back to here, really. Yeah, I think we're coming down now to make this other leg. So tempting, isn't it, to jump in here, but it doesn't even get. Just even if it touched it, would might gain some interest. It's frustrating when you get such a big move like that and there's just no real way in. Apart from that one was only one, but I just as we come down and almost met the bottom, I thought it may push up a little bit of sideways and then push back into the range, but if you got in on that and you managed to hold it through that lot, you're getting your second move down. It's definitely looking bearish to me, that is, especially now we've broken the overnight lows and we're still strongly going down. Trouble is, until it gets back up here, there's no way in. God, if you had the guts to hold there, you might have done. You'd have taken that and held. Look at that. You'd be looking at nearly 20 points out of that. That's what I reckon. Okay, that might be the end of it. See, the way that's pushing down nice, I'm thinking bearish at the moment. I can't think anything else. So if we can get back somewhere here or even to here, that's certainly a downtrend to me. And we've just sort of waltzed straight past the overnight lows. So, yeah, that daily is looking incredibly bearish. Hopefully if it gets back nicely and gives us a setup, we can go short. There is one there, but it's just one push up, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so if we can get something else, let's get an order ready just in case something comes available. Okay, one push up. I think we may get up here and we'll see. One leg up. If we can get up here, we may get something. Oh, well done. SW Blaze, nice. Yeah, if you can get somewhere, it's certainly 4997. 4997. No, 4003, I got you. Up here. Oh, that one there, yeah. Yeah, it turned out alright, that, didn't it? Trouble is, as we just come down to these lows, I just thought, oh, I don't know. If I hadn't have been down, then I'd have probably taken that. Okay, so possible second entry short. Let's see if we can break up here. Probably not going to. It's probably going to tank again and not give us anywhere in. See if we can get a lower high. 3997, yeah. Yeah. Oh, down here, I got you. Looks like we're coming down, but it's not going to give us anything, is it? Okay. I kind of like the way. See if it can give us a lower high. Push up, go on. Come on, get up there, you bastard. Get up there. Excuse my French. Thought I'd give it some encouragement. It's not going to, is it? I don't think we're just going to come down. Go on, push up, go on. Someone buy. Can one of you buy? Preferably someone with a big pot. Cool, that's frustrating, isn't it? So bearish, isn't it? So tempting, isn't it, just to chuck an order there? Trouble is, 9 times out of 10, you don't do nothing, it pushes down. That one time you decide to have a crack and just take something risky, guaranteed it pushes up, stops you out. Yeah, it's definitely looking very bearish, isn't it? Get up, go on, get up. Okay, one leg down. If we can push up a little bit and get close to this, then I may be interested in going short, but we got one leg down and it looks like could get something else. Up on the EMA. Yeah. A lot of time he does say, almost every time it gets back to the EMA on strong downtrends like this, it just goes, doesn't it? Back to the EMA, goes. Back to the EMA, goes. Yeah. God, so frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's frustrating when you get such a big move down and there's no real way in apart from that one. Trouble is, if you take that, it's right in the middle of that range, it's feasible, it's going to trigger you and come back up, pop above it, and then go short, so you can't really take that. Just not close enough. That one, it's just sideways, so there's no obvious way in apart from that one. Now I look at it, but it's easy to take for me to say that's a good trade now, obviously after the fact, but I don't think it was a bad one. It was clearly lower high, but the bit that put me off it was the fact that we'd touched the bottom of this range, and at the moment, as things stand, we're sort of still in the range until it sort of breaks below and then tries to get back up, and then obviously the downtrend takes over. But it is frustrating that there's no way back. You could have possibly jumped in there and took a risk, but the trouble is the one time you decide to do that goes against you. Yeah. It's easy, isn't it? After you've seen that, you think, oh yeah, look at that. God, do you know what? Do you ever remember that program that was on years ago? What was it called? It was set in America somewhere. I forget the guy's name. He used to wake up every morning, and outside his door there used to be a cat, and he used to be stood in front of this paper, and the paper was for that day. So he had the news. Guys, I have weird dreams like that. I do that. I managed to get hold of the chart today for tomorrow and trade it like that. I have all these weird sorts of things I do. Imagine getting a copy of this chart for tomorrow, knowing what's going to happen. Wow. The top step with Apex. I'm wondering which one should I take. Does Apex require a minimum amount of green days? The valuation, you've got to do 7 days. My honest opinion is you can't beat Apex. Ask anybody else in the group. You just can't beat Apex. There's nothing that comes close to them, really. They've got rules, the lack of. They haven't got many rules. You just can't beat Apex. You really can't. And at the moment, they've got an 80% off. If you do, I've got a code here, which gives you 80% off. And I think a $50,000 valuation is about $33, I think. But yeah, you just can't beat Apex at the moment. 7 days, you got to do it. There's no maximum daily loss. There's just nothing. If you accidentally left a trade open, it would when the market closes, it automatically liquidates just before the market closes. So there's no, it's tempting, isn't it? There's just no one that could touch Apex at the moment. That's my honest opinion. Obviously, I use them myself. Otherwise, I've been using Apex on and off now for about 12 months. In fact, I don't think I've used anybody else for 12 months. So you just can't beat Apex. And they do pay out. I had a payout a week ago. That's the Jack Rabbit statue on his desk. Remind me how to catch in the market. Oh, it's quite different from seeing it standing still. Yeah. I'm going to have to watch a bit more on Brooks, actually, just to pick up a few pointers. Not necessarily to change my strategy, but just to maybe pick a few things up, because he'll notice certain patterns and certain things on there where, oh, look at that, where he would stay out. That's a big old move, that, isn't it? Oh, nearly 50 points. If we can get back up here, we've had a break here. And we haven't had a new low yet, so if we can get up above here just a bit. I don't think we've had a new low. I think we've equaled the low, but I would expect a new low. Oh yeah, we have, just by a tick, I think. It's not convincing on a downtrend like this, so if we can get back up here. Great for insomnia. Yeah, it's a bit long. Look at that, look. Guaranteed if I just went short there, it'd push up there. Guaranteed. Yeah, he's not the most exciting person, is he? But he certainly, I believe he knows his stuff. I believe he knows his stuff. He's certainly an encyclopedia for this style of trading, for sure. But you probably pick up some good tips. I mean, I believe his strategy is comparable to Mac's, isn't it? I think Mac originally got it from him. Oh, look at that! That's a real shame you can't get in on that. Apart from there, trouble is, if you take that short down there, you're going to come out around about here. There's no knowing really that it's going to come lower. What's the trouble? It is frustrating sometimes when you see these big moves down and no way in. So the minimum 7 days is all they have to be good. No, not at all. You can lose $2,000 on your first day and then make it all back. It's up to you. There's no daily limits, there's nothing. You've just got your drawdown, so you can't lose $2,500 in one go. So if you lost 5 trades at say $650, or with 4 trades, the last one would take you out, and it doesn't start moving again until you make that money back. So it's just, but obviously now's the time to do it because the 80% off. If you're thinking of doing it, but yeah, you just can't beat Apex. There's nothing that can touch them. And if there was, I'd be using them. You know what I mean? No, they can be whatever days they want, mate. And then if you pass, you get your PA account. You've got to trade your PA account for 10 days before you can withdraw. If you get your 50,000 PA and you get it to over $2,600 or $52,600, once it's above there, then you can make a withdrawal and you've traded for 10 days. So theoretically, you could withdraw $2,000. It wouldn't leave you much left. But if you wanted the money and you maybe wanted a bit more money to invest in it, you could take the risk and take the money if you wanted to. They have no issues with paying. So yeah, they're unbeatable at the moment. I think most people will tell you that. That's all you can do, bud, innit? Trouble is, every time it's getting back up here, it's giving us nothing, really, is it? You're going to call it. All right, Dylan. Have a good one, mate. Keith, you done as well, are you? You're going to call it. Yeah, take it easy, Keith. See you tomorrow, bud. I'll be here again tomorrow. I might still be sat here. Scary to go short. Well, do you know that the strange thing is, if you look at this, if you look at the daily, just to give you an example, if you look over since the beginning of the year, or the end of last year, look what's happened. Every time we come up here, we push back down, and we have strongly pushed. But then look what's happened. We've pushed up. We've had this little bit of sideways, and we've had a couple of strong push-ups. Now look at this, a big bearish bar. We could absolutely tank over the next few days. I mean, if we come down from here to here, that's 100 points. So sometimes when you think these things can't get any lower and people try and jump at them to go long, they just keep on going. It's uncanny sometimes. I mean, that's only a 50-point move. It's not actually a huge amount, really. What's that? So yeah, it's 50, just over a 50-point move. It's actually not that much. Things are looking bearish, but what I'd probably expect is it to break here. And then maybe push down more, and that might be where you end up sort of making a bigger channel. In fact, what you'll probably find is that channel will then come to the top here, and we might end up doing something like that. You know what I mean? But obviously that's later on throughout the day or tomorrow, but I'd expect a break at some point. But yeah, sometimes when you think it can't get any lower and you think, oh, this has got to be a longie, it's got to go up, it breaks out and it just continues down a chunk. Going long. At 97. See, it's risky to go long at the moment because we are clearly in a downtrend. And if you did, you'd sort of be counter-trend traded and that would be risky. I know after all this move down, you think it's got to go higher, but it really hasn't. And if you went sort of long up here, knowing the way things are, it'd pull back to this and go down some more. But it's struggling to get back this time. It's not even getting back to the EMA, is it now? If this ends up bullish, it may get us up there a little bit. And we get a doji. Come on, get back up here. Hopefully we might get a break soon. Tick below here, come on, now get up. Momentum's coming away from the bottom of this channel, see, isn't it? So I'm hoping we may. Yeah, we've right at the bottom of it here, right at the bottom, near enough, right at the bottom of here. It's slowly coming away from this, isn't it? Which tells me we may get a break. It's certainly teetering off a bit, isn't it? Possible second entry short, we'll see. See what happens. I just keep going. I know Max sometimes when you get times like this, he says just about every time it comes back to the EMA, you could potentially go short. And he's sort of right, isn't he? Short. Not quite. Okay. A little bit of sideways there, so if we can get a push out the top, I'd one fade to break out, and I kind of like. Let's get an order ready. That's my wife's here. Okay. Good. That's what I wanted. Now stop there and push out a bit higher. So that's a possible. If it gets a break up over here and come a bit lower, I'll short that, but it's got to be above here. Otherwise, I'd rather it break. Push. Go on, push up. Okay, I like that. And we may have a break. Count that as a second entry, possible second entry. It's got to push up or out. Hoping that's one leg and we can have another leg, and that's what I look to think about it coming down. Tick below. Now push up, you bastard. Push up. Go on. See, every time it does this, it carries on down. The only thing I think we may get a break is because we've come away from the bottom of this trend channel. So, oh, you bastard, look at that. Ooh, that's annoying. Push up, go on. Goes a lower high. I suppose you could have technically faded the range, couldn't you? Really, there. We sort of had a break. Yeah, we didn't have a new high, but the way things are, you could have just faded the breakout, couldn't you? Really. Sod it. God, so annoying. If that ticked higher, I'd take that. It ticked higher than there because we've had a break and a new high. Trouble is, you just can't, as tempting as it is, you just can't jump in, can you? Yeah, that's the trouble. If it ticked above there, I'd say, okay, so we're in a downtrend. We've had a break and a new high. It finished below the EMA. You could also say fade breakout from the range, and we're at a key entry point. So if that ticked a few ticks higher, then I'd have took that for sure. But just like the rest of the day, inside bar again, we've had no real, See if we can push up here a little bit more, get a bit closer. Trouble is, it's finding some support along the bottom, isn't it? It's not to say that it's not going to push through. I mean, we've got a lot of selling pressure at the moment, so it seems to be strong. Tempting as it is just to jump in, you just can't do it, can you? I've done it before many times and it just doesn't work. You've got to wait. Okay. See if you did jump in here, look what happened. Typical, isn't it? I'd have preferred that to tick higher. I don't think it's going to. I think we've got a leg down. I think we're coming down again. I don't know. Excuse me. It is stalling along here, though. I need it to push up though. Come on, get up, you bug. Hopefully, there'll be some longs in here as well. I dare say there'll be some longs there. So we've had a break, haven't we? Well, if you can call it a break, it's probably not really. It's not convincing enough, is it? It is torture. You're not wrong. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's alright, I've got time. So I kind of like this. See what happens. I'd pretty much say after this big strong move down, there'll be some longs in there, I'd say. See how this finishes. I kind of like that. I think there's going to be some longs there, and it is a lower high, isn't it? Right off the key entry point. Something about it I don't like though. I think if it drops below here, the trouble is it's a massive bloody thing. Mind you, every time it comes back to the EMA, it's dropping, isn't it? No, I don't like that. There's something about it I don't like. Let's see if it triggers below, and let me just have a look at this. Can that be adjusted to make it fit? Yeah, it can really, can't it? It touched there. Okay. It's just a bit risky, I think. I dare say there'll be some longs there. If this triggered, there'll be some longs there. Let's move this up a bit. Let's be careful what I'm doing here. Potential failure. I'd say there'll be some longs there. There's going to be some longs there. Second entry long triggered. Probably going to be some longs there, thinking there's some support down here. See what happens. Let's get an order ready. One leg up, two legs up. Hidden second entry short, possibly. See whether, because there is some resistance around here, so see what happens. See if this falls bearish. Zoom out a bit. Okay. Okay, that's a clear break. Let's just check. Look at that. Okay, yeah, it's touched there. Yeah, I was kind of expecting a break at some point because it's been coming down so steeply and maybe widening another channel. But I think it's going to be a lower high that's going to drag me into this. Nothing more, I don't think. One leg up, two legs up. So tempting, isn't it? So tempting. Hopefully if we can push down and then pull back and have a lower high, then I'm thinking that'll interest me. Certainly on a break in that short-term chart. You could say that's like, yeah, it probably is like that. Okay, so we've had a break. You could say that was potentially a break there and a new high, see what happens, but the break and new highs don't seem to be making much of a difference when we're a strong market like this. Maybe some more longs there. See if we can get this lower high here. Maybe the failure, if that can end up bullish, that'll attract some buyers there. And if it ticks above, then I might put my order below, see what happens. It hasn't made a new high yet. It's tried once. If it tries again, if this ends up bullish and it tries again, then I'm thinking short then. But so tempting to jump in here, isn't it? But look at that. Might not even give us a failed second entry. Every time it gets up there or it's had a break, it seems to be strongly pushing down to me. I don't think it's going to. It might do. I prefer this to end up quite bullish though, or at least get to the EMA. Nah, it's not going to do it, is it? It's so strong, isn't it? No, I don't think it is a pattern for long, mate. I think we're coming down more, I do. Sometimes when you think it can't come down anymore. But if we can get this bullish and attract some longs in there, and then I'll put my order one tick below it. But it's just, it does seem really bearish to me. It is tempting, Jacko, isn't it? But I think you've really got to try and hold back up here. So this looks like, if this ends up bullish, which it might do, that's a second entry long there after you've had the break, that'll likely encourage some buyers. And if it might rocket up, but if it does then tick above it, that's a good place to go short then, I think. If we can end up bullish there, I don't think we're going to, are we? No, bollocks. Does look like we're moving down, doesn't it? We've got to push above here really to give us a failure. It's just too risky otherwise. I think the chance of it going down is a lot greater than the chance of it going up. But we've got to take the right setup. I've got to get out of there. I don't tend to just jump in randomly anymore. I wait for, all right, some of the trades I've taken are questionable, but they're just a little bit misled rather than knowing I'm randomly going to be jumping in. But it's got to track some buyers to trigger above really before it's worth going short. And I think if it does, then I think we've got a good shot of getting down. So this needs to end up bullish, but knowing our luck, it's going to end up a bloody doji again, isn't it? Yeah, look, typical, isn't it? See, they had the lower high. Trouble is, that was tempting, but the thing is, you got 3 back to back there, haven't you? And it is still a bit above the EMA. Yeah, perhaps that would have been the place to take it, I think. It is a second entry short. It's just those 3 bars sitting side by side. Typical, eh? Typical. It is riskier. So that's an inside bar. I don't think you're going to get many longs in there. Well, that's just, it's so frustrating. Let's get rid of that for a minute. No, there's nothing really. And if there isn't anything, if you really want to sort of succeed in this business, you just have to leave them, as frustrating as it is. There have been times in the past where I'll just hit bloody sell. I would have done half the time. I don't even, I wouldn't have even right clicked. Trouble is, that's why I never got anywhere. At least now I've got some form of stability. I'm not getting kicked out. Okay, my PA had a bit of a bounce in last week. But that's because I didn't come out after 2 losses. But see, it's bouncing straight back off this again. I'm just wondering, that's a second entry long. If that triggers above, is there going to be some longs in there? And until we get through this, I'd say there's going to be some longs in there. Thinking we're going to push out. If we can trigger above here. For me at the moment, we're still bearish. And until anything else happens, we've had a break and we haven't hit a new low yet. So I'm expecting it to hit a new low. Maybe have a stronger push down, but it's got to break above that before I can really go short there. Nice downtrend, actually. Bloody shame there wasn't a lot getting in there. Oh, big money they made this morning, yeah. You're not wrong, mate. Trouble is, Jacko, we're clearly in a little bit of sideways here, so taking short there close to the top, especially when you've got those 3 side by side. I've done stuff like that before, and obviously, yeah, it's worked, but it's just, it is a little bit more risky. I'd have preferred that to be below here, really, below the EMA. It's not pushing. See, if there'd have been a lot of shorts in there, I think it would have pushed that down a little bit more. But it hasn't really, is it? I don't think there's been a really good setup at the EMA. If this pushes up here strongly and pulls back and finishes below the EMA, I think that's as good as anywhere for a failure. Okay, it has ticked above, but I want it to push up and come really bearish before I'll think about going short, because we haven't had a new low yet. And I think we may possibly come down quite a bit more and extend this downtrend, just by the way things are looking. Let's get an order ready. There may be some longs there. I'd say there's almost certainly some longs there. So if we can get below here, I think we'll have a good push down. But I prefer that to push up a bit further before it comes down bearish. Or at least finish there and have another one. Yeah, there's definitely some longs in there thinking, wow, we've pushed all the way down and what's happening? We're holding on this line. So there's probably going to be some longs there. There's almost certainly going to be some there, maybe some there, and their stops are going to be below here. So I think if we can get a decent sell bar, and I think if we get down here, then we may get a decent push. But it's typically going to do what it's done most of the afternoon and just not give us any decent setups. Yeah, if we can get below here, then I think we should, we may even get a really nice push down, because I'd say there's almost certainly going to be some longs there, because they're going to be trying to pick the bottom. And as we've bounced here, we've bounced here, we've bounced here, we've made a new low there, that I'd say there's almost definitely going to be some hold in there, thinking, you know, a little bit more sideways, and stops maybe below here or a little bit lower here. So we've had this small channel, haven't we? We've had a break of it, 2 pushes up. If we can end up, if this ends up bearish down here somewhere, then I may think about it, but we'll see. See what happens here. I like that. Oh, what happened? I'm in or I'm out? I'm in. It is a riskier trade, but we've had a break from this. So I think if we can get below here, I think that'll turn out okay. But I think we need to be, that's our trigger point, I think. I don't know, it might do a second entry and push up, but I don't know. We've had this little channel here and a couple of pushes up with the bearish bar. See what happens. We need to get below here. That's the key. Come on, keep pushing down. This ends up bearish, a lower high. That might be another positive indicator. If that ends up bearish, then I'm more confident in that trade then. Stay down there. Come on, get really bearish. If that's really bearish, then I think that's our indicator that we're going lower. We'll see. Okay, I like that. Finish, hurry up, finish. Yeah. I'm tempted to put another one in here, but I think it's a good trade. But the way things have been, I'd rather just give it that little bit of room and just take the one for now. So that's a lower high. And I think if we can get out of here, we may get a really decent push down. We're trying to, aren't we? Yeah. Go on, push down. We need to get through those other longs. I still think it's worth holding it here. We need to get below these. If we get below here, then I think we're golden. Then I think we might get a really good push down. Another 2 or 3 ticks, and I think we're golden. We're going to take them stops out. The long stops out. Come on, 2 more ticks. Come on, and again. Come on. Another tick. Come on. Come on, you bastard. Now get down. Come on. Okay. Just don't like the way it come and did that. What is going on here? What happened there? Oh shit. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Flatten everything. Okay. Right. Okay. That's the first time that happened. Let's have a look. Accounts. Why are they still 500? What went on there? Why are they more down? I don't quite put your stop loss at support. I don't know what happened there. Why are those still showing? I took my stop loss out. Okay, but I cancelled the trades down here, didn't I? So why are they still showing 500 in the red? That's the only one that I don't know what's going on here. You took your stop loss out, okay. So my stop loss was up here, wasn't it? When you got out on your main, they entered on the other evals. Yeah, you snag your stop loss. Did I hit my cross on the stop loss, did I? Oh, for Christ's sake. I don't quite know what went on there. Oh, for God's sake. 2.5, I don't know what that's more in the red. They were 400 in the red. They're even more now. I don't know what's going on here. When you close your main trade, it opened the eval. Why? Surely if this is going down further, they should be even less in the red. Oh my God, this is frustrating. This is. I don't know what went on there. It carried on. I came out here and I flattened them down here, didn't I? Oh, this is frustrating. This is. When the stop loss triggered, it entered them long. I don't get that. If it hit my stop loss, why would it enter them long? I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. But when the stop loss triggered, no, but how would that go long when the stop loss triggered? Peer cat. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch a recording there. They shouldn't be that. It shouldn't have got even more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to email them because I can't be paying for trade copier and investing more money if I went short here and I came out here. What is it? 4, 5, 6, 2.5 points. Should be 2.5 points off that. That was 400 in the red. It's more in the red now. That makes no sense. That doesn't. And in fact, when I actually right-clicked positions and took them out, the market was further down here, so I actually should have got a better entry. Oh, I don't bloody get this. It's due to your fill. It doesn't make sense to me. All I'm doing is trading one account. They're following. If they didn't trigger out, then I just right-click and stop them. Show the same result, yeah. Okay, sometimes they don't trigger, but when I right-clicked and triggered them, the market was further down here. I came out here, market was further down. God, so... They entered the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know, I'm going to have to look back on it, aren't I? Put the fault on you. Well, I've got video evidence of it, haven't I? So I'll just tell them I live stream. There was 111 people watching. I got video evidence of it. If something's not working, and if they don't do nothing, I'll just kick up a fuss because it's obviously an issue. I'll obviously check back to check I didn't do anything. But they're even more in the red. That's what I don't get it. Settings window for your copier. Copier's right. I checked it earlier. Let's have a look. Here. So trade the P account, which is there. And I've copied those exactly the same exact quantity. There's only one of them up. But those shouldn't be even further in the red. That makes no sense. Check rhythmic. Well, there's nothing showing anyway, so... I don't know, it makes a difference, does it? I'll have to have a look in a bit. That's annoying, that is. It is annoying. So annoying. I mean, I only got 2.5 points, but it should show 2.5 points off there. The thing is, I came out there. When I right-clicked and closed them, it was further down, so I should have got at least an extra point. So they should probably be around about the $75. Right, okay. Your initial trade wasn't copied. God, this... It's beginning to be a nightmare. This is the long entry you've got. Your P8, you entered a new trade. Yeah. Your initial trades weren't copied. But when you made your stop loss, which is a buy or long order, it copied the long entry when it hit the stop loss. Shouldn't that? They're not, things like that aren't supposed to happen. It is frustrating, that is, because they shouldn't be like that. It uses stop loss to fill long. That's annoying. I'm going to have to contact them. I've got that number of the message of that. What's her name? What's her name? Marion, is it? Click on the executions. Christ. You made Edna Taylor that? I'm gonna have to really look back on it, I think. So annoying. So annoying. So I went short there, came out there. But apparently the other ones didn't trigger. So why didn't they trigger? It wasn't a limit order, it was a normal order. It should have triggered. So only the one triggered. And then down here, when it hit my stop loss, the stop loss triggered a long. I think that's what people are saying. The thing is, if my stop loss triggered a long, when did I get out of it? It must have been there if it went a bit higher. If my stop loss triggered along here, it didn't really go much higher, did it? Second entry long on 3 evals. I'll just have to look back on the video, I think. Oh, this is frustrating. This is you just don't need hassle like this when you're you buy a trade copy, you know. Go to the drop-down chart, switch secondary account, show you where you entered. Go to the drop-down chart. I'm not sure what you mean. Drop-down chart here. What do you mean? What do you mean, Brent? Orders tab. Trouble is, it shows you them all, doesn't it? Not just. So those are the 3 cells, aren't they? Filled, closed. What's the date? The 18th. I don't get it. Let me just get this out of the way. In the chart trader to the right, look at the different accounts. Chart trader. Not sure what you mean by that. In the chart trader to the right, look at the different accounts. So here, there. Is that what you mean? OCO stuff going on. What's wrong? I can't see an issue with it. Just showing you the accounts available, which is the PA account, which is I trade. In the trade copies, everything's right. Exact quantity, lead account. I don't get it. I know it's stressing me out. Ever since I've had this flipping trade copy, I've had headaches. I don't know. Does it actually shit? Does that make any sense to you? It's another account to see the arrows. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Let's start with 74. Does that make any sense? Right, the reason they went long, you're saying, because they didn't trigger there, Graham. Does that make sense? So it was only the one that triggered there, wasn't it? So when it hit my stop, for some reason they took long trades, because I lost about a point, I think, on each. Yeah, it is a bit. I'm going to contact that Marion, I think. The trouble is, you got your eyes on the chart, haven't you? It's just, it doesn't make bloody sense, this. So frustrating. I've lost all faith in this flipping trade copier, I've got to say. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a fuss, I think. I'll contact that Marion. I know someone here messaged me yesterday and said if you've had problems with this trade copier, you can message someone. time is it now? In fact, I'm going to finish the stream there. I think I'm going to go in and find out what happened, and I'll contact. What's it? I think of buying it now. I'm hesitating. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'll go back into the video and have a look and try and figure out exactly what happened. Trouble is, I didn't have that open. I didn't have the that open. I should still be able to see those moving. Okay. All right, that's it for today anyway. I'll contact Apex. Yeah, I'll contact Apex and just say I was live streaming and 100 people watching. Something didn't play right. And I'll see what they say. Okay, so, all right, cheers, guys. I appreciate you hooking me up. I'll look into this and try and figure out exactly what happened. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow.